take chances, take risks, chase greatness, right? Being perfect is boring.
For Drew Dober, the toughness.
Being the veteran he is, he's got his opponent hurt. He's saying, I'm not giving you another chance to land any of this crazy stuff you've been throwing at me, kid.
Drew Dober!
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Matt and I today are going to be, it's very hot in my house right now, by the way. We're going to be joined today definitely by our friend Drew Dober, who I think this will be his 6th appearance. Possibly Santiago Ponzinibbio, but he's having an issue. He's in traffic. So if we don't have him today, we will, of course, hopefully get him on soon. He's fighting Muslim Salikov this Saturday. And he's been laid off for quite a while since that Kevin Holland loss. So I hope we get a chance to talk to him, Matt. Have we had him on? It says we haven't, but I thought we've interviewed him before.
I think we have, but
I think so too. Sometimes they'll put in the prep sheet how many times someone's been on it. I think we've had him on before.
I mean, Drew Dober is pretty much a regular. He might be.
Yeah.
Drew Dober comes on a bunch.
Yes.
With that smile and perfect hair, that guy, he's like chiseled like her.
I know.
And he's so dangerous. You think like, look at the pretty boy. That's all you got. And you're,
yeah. Whenever he's on, though, people always they say they have a hard time telling he and I apart, which I think that's why I wear the glasses.
It's so untrue, Jimmy. Jimmy, but you are looking good. You look a little better than yesterday. The other day, you looked a little pale. Something happened. You get some training in? You looked a little. No. You looked a little like a little.
I was on a different. I had a different set. I was in a hotel, so I was using one of those weird virtual backgrounds. So I looked pale and kind of dead. Now I'm home.
100%. It didn't do you no favors, but you look good now.
Thank you. Yeah.
If you didn't look good now, I wouldn't even say nothing. I'd be like,
no. Why would you tell me? That would just humiliate me and hurt my feelings. But now you're telling me I'm very handsome.
How's the YouTube show going with your wife? Are you still doing that?
We are, but it's funny. We haven't done anything in a while because she had a death in the family. So it's been she hasn't been here a lot. She's here now, but I think by next week we'll start again. But we've been traveling, and she had family stuff. So we haven't had time because she hasn't been here.
I got you, man.
Yeah.
My family did a little traveling last week. I think I told you briefly.
Where'd you go?
I didn't go nowhere. I stayed home with my youngest, my 11-year-old.
Right, yeah.
My wife and my 2 oldest daughters, they went down to Virginia Beach for the Nationals dance thing there for my middle. And that was fun for them. It was daddy daycare for a few days.
Yeah.
Dude. We had a blast. I try to make it fun. Went to my buddy's Pete's pool party. You'll see on my Instagram, I give him a brown belt right there at the party.
Oh, that's nice.
Very deserving. I was going to do it at the school a couple weeks ago. We got a lot of people there, So we had he does that every year. What a good time we have over there. And then, they have cornhole. You play cornhole, Jimmy? Keep it clean. The game, cornhole.
I think I have.
It's with the sandbags. It's not what you think.
Oh, no, I haven't played it. Well, actually, I can. It hurts.
I wish they named it something different because I always I love cornhole, and it just sounds weird. But that's fun. And then the next day, I became friends with the big security guy at this roller rink. He's a big, nice guy. Nice guy. We had my kid's birthday party there, right? So this was a couple months ago. Oh, so we have somebody in the room? No? Oh, give me a signal.
No.
All right? Not yet. All right, I'll keep talking. Then we'll talk about some fights.
No, this is the signal, but I didn't give the signal.
Okay. I just thought maybe my stories might get a little,
No, they're great.
Okay, so listen. So I'm at my kid's birthday party, and then so this big guy, real big guy at the door, older guy, big guy, some tattoos. It looks like a rough guy. So then it's time to, when your parties are done, they got to kind of clear him out because then it's time for the other people coming in.
Yeah,
coming over. I'm still not sure of the guy because he's not really smiling at all. So then he's like, clearing everybody out. So I go over, and I go, hey, he's getting kind of Uncle Edwin. And, who knows what'll happen then, It'll be like a fucking Pacific Rim with the robot. Anyway, so I go over there. I go, hey, what's up, big guy? I go, let me help you get this herd. Let me herd this group for you. Help you herd them up, you know? And he leans over and he goes, big fan. I go, oh, big fan. I go, you are a big fan. You're large. So we started talking. Nice guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, then I brought my kid back the next week. Next thing you know, he's opened up the side door for me a little bit. Like, no, dude, I already paid online. He's trying to be nice. And
yeah,
my kid wins some stuff on the card. He goes over. What do you want? So now this Friday, and I'll plug this if anybody's in Long Island, there's a benefit for police officers at the Deer Park outlets.
okay.
And they can go on my Instagram. I'll post something closer to it. And so he's a former cop, and he asked me if I could do something and make an appearance down there. So I said, sure, you know, and he was very grateful. Now I think I got a free roller rink pass for life for me and my family.
If you want to skate,
well, I don't really skate.
Ladies' choice, and they would always play the slow song.
I couples only.
Couples only.
They don't do that anymore.
No, of course not.
But
bunch of lonely school shooters will be sitting there by themselves, no one to skate with.
Listen, it's right near my house, this place. So like if I kill an afternoon or a couple hours with my kids, they're going in a circles and I'm hanging out, having a slushy. Hey, to be honest, I'm not having a slushy.
No.
But when I was there last time, I had one of those long braided pretzels. I should have done it, but I did it.
Sure.
And I fucking enjoyed it.
Well, you treat yourself.
Enough of me and my little life. That's Jimmy. What a good time. I taught this morning. Go look on my Instagram. I was breaking guy down in guard, and I was getting overhooks, getting angles, omoplatas.
I haven't trained in a week and a half. This will be my longest period without it because I've been gone, and I'm only home for today. Like I'm literally home from I flew home yesterday, and I'm flying out as soon as we're done. So I was home for like 24 hours.
Hey, we're getting into some MMA action right now.
Sure.
Where are you flying out to?
We're going to the West Coast. I have to go out there for a funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just went to my old pizzeria boss's funeral, Louis Casiello. Oh, what a great! I used to go away with this guy, and what a good man. I used to go skiing with him, camping. He was a bit older than me. He was like almost like one of my mentors, even though he was a little twisted in a good way.
Yes.
Really just rowdy sense of humor. We used to go. I was young, man. What was I, 18, 19? The guy's in his 30s. We would go up to these ski lodges, and then there'd be some karaoke. He'd be like, oh, let's see if we can get some mother-daughter action going. No, you know what I mean? He'd go up there, do Mac the Knife. It was fucking funny, bro.
Did you ever get any mother-daughter action? That's the key to the story.
We never did. We never. But he was up there. He was he was an old, retired coxman.
Now, Matt, this Saturday, we should be promoting as well.
Okay, sorry?
We should promote. I keep forgetting. This Saturday, July the 13th, in Denver, which is why we do this program. The prelim's 7 o'clock. The main card's 10 o'clock on ESPN, ESPN+. Rose Namajunas against Tracy Cortez.
Hey.
This is really, Rose had a couple losses, and then she came back with a nice win over Amanda Ribas. And Tracy Cortez is coming off a string of wins. 5-0 in the UFC. So this is a great fight. Great matchup.
Hey, man. I like it. I like it a lot. We can go right to picks. I mean, we can talk about the fights more, and then people can be like, oh, my goodness, who are they picking? And then I'll say, whoever Matt's picking, it's got to be way more, reliable than whoever Jimmy's picking.
There are times where that would be apparent, yeah.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
That's okay.
Hey, in the UFC, though, I was always a good winner.
Sure.
When Frank Trigg would win, it shouldn't be Frank win. But if Frank Trigg would win, you know what he would do? He would do like a pro wrestling thing. He'd go, what do you know?
Did you like that?
Listen to me. One of my main motivations when I was getting ready to fight Frank Trigg, I could not have, if he would have beat me, I know I would have heard, and it would have haunted me.
Why?
The rest of my days. Because I really don't know. I don't. I know what I do know. I know he didn't like it. I know he didn't like it at all. But listen, let's talk about now. Let's not talk about fights 16 years ago. Yeah. You always got to embarrass me.
Well, the Frank Trigg one was a big one. I know that. I'm actually looking Frank up right now.
Jimmy, I'll watch that right now. All right, listen. Let's talk about some fights. Not only that, but the co-main event, Jimmy. The co-main event, Jimmy.
Yes, Drew Dober against Jean Silva, and we're supposed to have. Oh no, I'm sorry. Ponzinibbio against Muslim Salikov is Drew is the featured bout. Ponzinibbio has not fought since April of 23, which is about 15 months. And Muslim Salikov lost to Randy Brown in February, so he's at least had a recent fight. They're both coming off of stoppages. That Ponzinibbio, did you see that fight? That it was a really good fight in the third round. Kevin Holland, it was a perfect left hook. Yeah. I think Santiago was going backwards, and he kind of face planted, and it was a controversial stoppage. But I thought the stoppage was fair.
Listen, it definitely could have been fair. But let's say you look at these other couple of L's with Michelle Pereira and Jeff Neal.
Yeah,
they were split decisions.
Split decisions. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I had a couple of those in my career. I get it. You're like, well, did I really get beaten? That's what you're thinking in your mind. Did they keep you up? Did I really lose? That's what you say. And some of them, yes, you really did. But other times you could be like, I don't know. So
I thought I got that one. Yeah.
He's always in the fight, and he's he was already going on a tear for a while.
I think he was on the 7-fight win streak, but then he had to sit out for a while. He sat out for 2 years.
Listen, he was on a 7-fight win streak up until the end. And but listen, I'm really I'm interested in a bunch of fights. The main event I'm very interested in.
Yes.
But Drew Dober versus Jean Silva. Now Jean Silva is looking unstoppable. I know there was some issue, and that's why he's fighting at 155 now. There was issue with his last fight with Charles Jourdain. Who's a very good fighter. Yeah. It reminds me recently of the Kevin Gauselin win over Daniel Rodriguez. It's like, man, is it the same playing field now? Are you making weight? If you're not making weight, that's part of it, man. That's really part of it. Because
how much weight was the difference with the Gastelum fight? Do you know?
Oh, there was a bunch of that.
It was like 6 pounds. So it was a few pounds, wasn't it?
And it's like the third time he did it, man. It's like, yo, I'm known for liking food. I mean, I knew I was known to blow up. I never missed weight. Right. Like, it's just something that you can't do. You just can't do it. So, like, for him to do it multiple times. But how much was Kelvin over?
I was sending that to Jake. Yeah, it was so far off they renegotiated the catch weight mid-fight. Oh, okay. I mean, come on. I remember that. I just didn't remember the actual pound. What was it? 6 pounds, or am I crazy? More than that.
It's something crazy. But the Jean Silva, I'm interested. I can't wait to get Drew on because, I mean, he's such a warrior. Like, what's motivating him to welcome this guy to the division? Because Jean Silva so far is looking unstoppable, and of course everybody is stoppable, but he's looking unstoppable. He's one of those fight nerds, and I just think he's a badass, man. I mean, when Drew is an established lightweight, what is Drew's ranking right now?
I'll tell you in a second. By the way, but Silva's coming up. That was literally June 29th, I think, was that last fight. And even though it didn't go very long, it was still you still had to weight cut and do all that stuff. So there has not been it's a very, very fast turnaround for him.
All right. Well, he's saying right now that Drew just fell out of the top 15. He was 15.
Okay.
Unranked, looking to get back in the rankings. Well,
yeah, that's how good that division is. That Drew Dober is right below the ranking. Like, that's how fucking devastating that division is.
I'll tell you, I was impressed with that last fight with Renato Moicano versus him. I don't want to. It's Drew's moment now. We're talking to him, but his last fight with Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano. Let's get him back on soon too. Yeah. He's a fun guy. But the way he blended in, he's been blending in his takedowns and his jiu-jitsu, and he's been using it beautifully. And I'm a fan of jiu-jitsu.
Yes, you are. By the way, this is how good that division is. Bobby Green is 15th. Yeah. Bobby Green is ranked 15th. So that's how solid. Moicano is 10. Holloway is 9th. Then again, he's
he's 15th, and Drew knocked out Bobby. Not that it can't go the other way around, but I'm just saying that it's just to show you how good Drew Dober is.
Yes, yeah.
He might not be ranked there, but Bobby is ranked there. He beat Bobby, but that whole Dober.
He's tied for Poirier most knockouts in lightweight history. They get 9, And you wondered how much. Let me ask you, Matt. How much do guys notice that when you guys are fighting, like a record or most octagon hours or all these? Like I remember when Frankie got the most octagon hours, they were talking about it. Like, is that important? Most minutes in the octagon, or any of these records, or when you're fighting, do you not even think of it?
Well, put it this way: most octagon hours means obviously he's got a high fight IQ because the guy's got a lot of time clocked in. So that's something to take into consideration. But if a guy's got like Paul Craig, how many submissions from the back? Yeah, you got to take that into consideration. Or if I fought a guy, Eve Edwards, one time, and he was very powerful in the tie clinch. So I'm like, all right, if he's gonna beat me, he's beat me anywhere else but there. So we gotta address that. Even jumping the pulling guard at one point and going for an ashi and a leg attack, because there's certain areas you can't be in with certain guys, and if they're fights, it's not coincidence if they're ending fights the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, guy's got a really powerful left. He's got to have to beat me with the right hand and right leg because I'm taking that away from him. You know what I mean?
What I was asking though, like, and yes, it is when there's like, 'cause they said he has the most, he's got 9 and Poirier has 9. Is that something that will play in your head when you're the guy looking? Like, will he be thinking, I want to get that 10th knockout and pass Poirier? Does that matter at all in the fight, or do you not even? Because, like, look, when a guy's playing baseball, it's a different sport, but he knows when he's going for a home run record, or he knows when he's going for most hits, or whatever the fuck he's doing.
I don't think so, man, because the thing is this. Depending on the record, like if you want that knockout, you let it happen. You don't go seeking that knockout. Like, does that make sense?
Sure.
Like, it kind of happens naturally. So you can't force it, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. And to answer your question, I don't fucking know, Jimmy. You're throwing a curveball at me. Hey, sorry. Let's talk about the Cobra. Jimmy, let's do some picks while we're waiting, man. Well, why not?
Ponzinibbio against Muslim Salikov. Now, it'd be awkward if we pick against Ponzinibbio and then have him on, but I can tell you.
Go ahead. I was going to say I'm going with Santiago.
So am I, and I'm not just going to pick against you to do it anymore because I'm getting creamed. But I do think Ponzinibbio is going to win that fight.
I'm going to say second round stoppage. He's going to start landing some fucking soup bones on him. Oh, wow. Sorry.
I think it'll go decision. I think Ponzinibbio by decision.
I did push-ups today, Jimmy.
I mean, it's very obvious.
Well,
I have not done them today.
All right, well then don't flex.
I'm healing up my leg.
I'll flex for the both of us.
Drew Dober against Jean Silva. I'm going to take Drew in this one because there's Jean Silva looks great. Excuse me, but there's such a fast turnaround. And again, going up. I think Drew Dober is a problem. And I think Drew Dober gets a second round stoppage.
Man, how old is Drew Dober now?
He's 35.
35?
8-year age difference, but he's still 35 is not old. Like, and Muslim Salikov is 40. Like that's when you start to go like, wow, 39, 40, the age is a real consideration. But 35, I don't really.
All right. Maybe I'll pick this one after we talk to Drew.
Okay.
Oh my God. Am I being an asshole?
No. You want to see how he sounds.
I want to see how he sounds.
That's true. Like, I'm going to regret picking him if he jumps on and he's like, oh, wait, shit, is my fight Saturday? Then I'll be like, I should have talked to him before I picked. Who are you taking in the main event, Matt? Rose or Tracy Cortez?
Now, you know what? I'm looking at this here.
Mm-hmm.
That fight, I feel, was closer than. I know it's a unanimous decision, but I think her fight with Amanda Ribas was pretty close.
Yeah.
And Tracy Cortez, I don't want to pick against Rose.
Well, and Tracy has not fought the level of competition that Rose has fought. I mean, she's fought some good fighters, but.
I know, but like her ground and pound style, like when she gets that fight down, Rose is very good at arm locks and throwing stuff up from the guard. And she has really good jiu-jitsu too, but I like the way Tracy like postures out of arm locks and comes back down. Like she's almost not afraid to be in the fire there. You know, she ain't gonna get burnt. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I should have.
I know. I didn't like it.
I should have left that.
Nah, you should.
Now it's cringy. I'm gonna Jimmy. I'm gonna say Tracy Cortez by decision. I am,
and I will go just the opposite and take Rose by decision.
Just the two of us. We could make it if we tried.
This is all we need, Matt.
Jimmy, you and I. Oh, we got Drew in the waiting room. I was gonna bust out another tune.
Is Drew in the waiting room? Oh, he is in the waiting room.
Let's get him in here, man. I like Drew Dober.
I do too.
Guarantee he's smiling.
Never in a shitty fight ever. He's never in a boring fight.
And never in a shitty movie.
Hey, Drew.
Exhibit A right there.
What up, guys?
How you doing?
Man.
Well, I was hoping you were talking about me.
Hey, Drew, listen. He said never in a shitty fight, and I said never in a shitty mood. You're pretty much a happy guy, Drew Dober. You're always smiling. I can't see you walking and moping around. Are you ever oh, I'm feeling all? No.
I mean, I feel like my wife will disagree. You know, she gets the mopey side, but when it comes to punching people in the face, then you can't help to have a smile on your face.
It always makes you happy.
I get to punch my coworkers every day of my life, so why is everyone mad?
I got to ask you about this fight with Jean Silva because, man, let me tell you, Drew, is it when you say, listen, we got a fight for you when you're your agent, whoever's telling this, do you just say whoever? I mean, this guy that you're fighting, Jean Silva, 2-0 in the UFC, 2 stoppages, looking unstoppable. I know he's going up in weight. You're going to be welcome to the division. You know, how this fight happen and what made you did you just say yes? What is it?
I want to fight. I want to fight. July 13th, I agreed to fight here in Denver, and unfortunately, Mike Davis got injured. But at any name, I mean, UFC. I try to make things easier for Sean Shelby. So whatever name he wants to throw by me, 55 or even 70, it's just a yes for me because fighting is more important to me. And as you know, like this career doesn't last forever, so I'm trying to get as many in before it's over.
You also you're fighting in Denver, where you're very familiar and you're very comfortable with that altitude. You wonder how this is going to affect Silva. Like he just fought, I think it was June 29th was the fight. Even though it didn't go the distance, it was still a fight. You still have to weight cut and you still have to whatever. And now you wonder, going up in weight and fighting here, those things seem to work in your favor.
I'm eager to find out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He might come in and he might be ready for the altitude. He might just be one of those psychos that are just able to like work well in high altitude. And so I'm just preparing for us to be on equal playing fields, and I'm eager to find out.
Now, are you expecting an early rush from this kid? I mean, he's very aggressive. Did you watch any tape on him? There's not a ton of footage in the UFC with him, but or are your people watching tape on him? Very aggressive.
When the name came across, I mean, I missed UFC 303, so I had to go back and take a look at it. And he is wild and he is fun. And the fact that he took this fight, and it's stacked against him, it just kind of shows his mentality. And these are the guys I like fighting. These are the guys that I'm trying to create stories with and memories. And like any time I step in the octagon, I'm trying to make every single fight exciting. And this is just an equal dance partner. So, what I expect is I'm working all camp to dismiss expectations. I need to figure out once I'm in there. He might come out hot. He might be more reserved. He might try to grapple me. Like, I don't know. Because in these film watching, he hasn't fought me. And he's coming in with a plan of his own, and I'm eager to find out what that is.
It is one of those things, too, like with the altitude, you don't know how a person's going to try to manage it. Like, do they try to come in, like Matt said, be really aggressive fast because they're worried about what the second and third are going to look like? Or do they come in and try to be very, very even and save stuff for the second and third? So I guess you really don't know until you're in front of the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone knows until you're here, what they're going to do. So I think Jean Silva is going to figure out what he wants to do in the octagon, and then I have to counter or react accordingly.
And it is a real.
Go ahead, Jim. I was just going to say, are you changing anything differently in your training camps? Where I tried training the same at 34, as I did when I was in my 20s, and I blew my back out. I went a little nutty. And then I realized I had to try to taper my training and tailor it to me just not being the same athlete as my 20s. Dude, you look like you're in your 20s, obviously. Are you changing anything in camp as far as with your training camps? Or is it just brutal? Or
I mean, it could be a genetic thing. I feel better at 35 than I did in my 20s. However, we have this understanding of how much is enough. I think way back when we were on this grind mindset, grind every day and this and that, where it's like, man, we're only fighting for 15 minutes. I mean, hopefully 25 minutes one day. But I mean, so that's it. So it's like, I know what is enough. So I'll push into a mark and then we don't exceed that mark because, I'm trying to make it into the octagon. I'm trying to get injured inside the octagon and not outside. So it's just kind of like knowing how much is enough and really just trying to hit that mark on a daily basis.
And you don't have to fly to this or travel to this. Do you like when you don't have to travel, or is there something about getting away where you kind of leave distractions at home? Guys are different with that. Some guys like fighting where they live, and other guys just want to get the hell out. So there's not a whole lot of family and friends distractions, people asking for tickets, all these things that happen when you're home.
It kind of reminds me of back in the regional circuit where you had to sell those tickets and you had to talk to people. So I had that nostalgia, but as of fight week, the coaches and I decided that we're going to just mimic like we're somewhere else. So I'm currently in an Airbnb in a suburb that I've never been to. So we're kind of we're playing that unique fight week game. So where my wife is 30 minutes away from me and I don't get to see her until fight day.
It's funny what you said before when you're like, I'm not trying to get hurt in the camp. I'm trying to get hurt in the octagon. When you have that kind of mentality, I think the guys that are not trying to get hurt in there, sometimes they're afraid to pull the trigger. But it's almost like you're going to get touched. You're going to get marked up. Like you made peace with that.
I mean, if you've seen me fight, I mean, I don't it's not perfect. It doesn't look pretty, but we get the job done. And it's just acceptance and self-awareness. Like, this is how I fight. This is why, how I like to fight. And this is why people tune in to watch me fight. So as long as I'm in this career, this is how it's going to go down. And I have an acceptance of who I am.
And I think you and Poirier are tied for 9 knockouts. And we were talking before about that. Like, as a fighter, of course you're aware, but does that mean anything to you? Like, when you're in a fight, obviously you're thinking of surviving the fight, but going into a fight, or are there moments in the fight where that you'll consider that, or does it not even enter your mind when you're in the cage?
So going back on the, this camp, we're trying to dismiss expectations. I need to react to what, Silva's going to do to me. I need to react to the game plan and all that stuff. Well, this knockout record has kind of created a prediction or an expectation. Like, I got these heavy hands and they're going to put in the work. And unfortunately, when I started reading this stat, my performance had kind of dipped a bit. So now we're going back to hey man, I might hit him like pillows and I might have to do some grappling so we're dismissing this record. It's cool and everything. But I'm not thinking about it when I'm in there.
Like the knockout itself, if it comes, it comes. It's not like you're just looking for the knockout.
Yeah. I mean, like with my Matt Favola fight, I mean, I went in going man, I got these hands and this and that. Like, I'm going to put it on him and look what happened. And so we're just trying to dismiss that attribute. Like, I don't have it. I need to fight like I'm earning it.
Yeah.
And couldn't it also be that once somebody says it and the people go, all right, he's got 9 knockouts, and then everybody's thinking all right, fuck, he's going to, I have to be aware of his hand. It's almost like once it's out there, not only is it in your mind a little bit, but it's also in your opponent's mind. So they're going to do what they have to do to avoid that. You know what I mean? So it might even change the way they fight you, which would make it harder for you to pull it off anyway.
Right. And I was kind of fighting with this expectation that I was going to put people away with these hands and this and that. But I mean, honestly, the record surprised me when someone told me, because I wasn't fighting for the record. And then when someone told me, then it was just in my mind. So we just stopped thinking about it. And honestly, this camp, we were working on a lot more offensive grappling, just kind of just dismissing that, I can just solve every problem with my hands.
And speaking of your record, and you don't want it's kind of weird because when you point it out, it's obviously another individual that's going unconscious. Out of all those 9 knockouts, is there any one that's just like, oh, that one stands out? And they're all special, but that one knockout, that's the one that I like the most.
I mean, the one I like the most, I think the one that had the most like beautiful story and the craziest fight was that Bobby Green. That Bobby Green fight was why I'm a fighter. It's just overcoming adversity, and then just like the theatrics of Bobby Green in the fight, and then plus ending the fight in a knockout was spectacular. I mean, these are the fights I'm going to be showing my grandchildren.
Yes, I actually just put it up earlier because we were talking about the rankings, and they said you were out of the 15 now, and out of the top 15, and Bobby's at 15. I'm like, well, that just goes to show you how good Drew is, because Drew actually knocked out Bobby. So it's we were just talking about that, and yes, that was an amazing fight. That was a fun one.
It was a fun one. And I knew right out the gate that it was going to be that entertaining. So that fight was as expected. I knew what Bobby was bringing. I know what I brought, and we showcased it. The only unfortunate part is it wasn't in front of an audience.
That's the shit, man.
Right? Isn't that suck when you're at the Apex, right?
Yeah. So who knows? I mean, I might take that winner of the Patty Bobby Green fight in front of an audience. Like I'd take either. I mean, Bobby will get his rematch, or Patty will get these hands.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
How are you enjoying fatherhood? How old is your child now?
She is 13 months, so she just turned 1 year. And
all right.
Yeah,
now you're like a veteran.
Yeah, right. The problem hadn't even started. She's not walking yet.
Oh, it's cute though. You're enjoying it.
It's wonderful. I mean, I think being a fighter kind of just makes you a better father, in the fact that, I mean, we live in uncomfort, and just being there with your child just brings you in this moment, and I just forget about a lot of things. So being a father is such a blessing, especially in this field.
Is it what you thought it would be? Like when people tell you, like, this is what it's like when you have a kid, and then you have a kid, is it like they described, or is it different?
No, I don't think you can describe it. I don't think words can like match the emotions behind it. Like when you look at your little girl at the end of a training day, then it all seems worth it, where if you're single by yourself, then sometimes it just felt like a job, And so, yeah, words can't really describe how amazing being a father is. I mean, it's work too. I mean, don't dismiss that, but it's just beautiful work.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm so excited.
Makes them more, but I just feel like I end up with a litter of girls.
Yeah. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I got 3.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna live that life, so I might have to call you up for some advice.
Yeah, dude, anytime, man. Anytime. Hey,
Well,
Jimmy,
Drew, look, we obviously always fans of your fight. Every fight you're in is great. And I hope you have a great fight against Jean Silva. I'm interested to see how he handles these things. I always feel like whenever we see you, we kind of know that you're going to be good. Like I've never seen you, even in losses, I've never seen you not look good. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's more interesting to see how does this guy handle coming up into the division and facing you with the altitude, with the fast turnaround. So I can't wait for this fight on Saturday. Featured bout. Good luck, Drew. You're always exciting to watch.
I appreciate you guys, and thank you for this opportunity to chat. And man, I hope to put on a good show for you guys.
You always do.
Drew. All right, Warrior.
We'll talk to you again, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Be good, Drew.
Hey, man, you know what? After talking to Drew, there's something I did not consider.
What?
The whole Colorado thing. Now, that altitude, you've seen, listen, you know what they say. Fatigue, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Makes cowards of all, man. I'm not taking credit for that. Somebody said it. Some wise man said that. It's true. So I'm gonna say Drew Dober is gonna win this fight.
Okay.
I think he's gonna get him out of there in the 3rd round. I don't think Jean Silva. Now listen, he comes out hot. I think it's in him just to try to finish fights.
Sure.
That's in him, and it's not a bad thing. Up in weight, fighting at lightweight, Drew Dober, even like our producer was saying, that little ginger, he's smart sometimes. He was saying now, he's a big lightweight.
Yeah.
He's seasoned, power in his hands. His grappling's not bad. I mean, listen, what Islam did to him, not a lot of people, he does that to most people. So I'm going to say Drew Dober, 3rd round stoppage.
Did I pick Drew in the 2nd, or did I pick
I don't know what you said.
I don't remember what I picked. Maybe Jake remembers. But yeah, I think also coming up against him with that altitude. I said Drew in the second. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
Drew in the third.
Okay.
Get him in. Drag him into the deep waters.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like deep waters.
I don't either. He may be very tuckered out by that point. Who knows?
You know, I think that's maybe that should be the goal. Survive that first round. You know what I mean? Then start putting it on him.
Have you been to Denver?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. And I performed there a lot. And it really, you have that breed. It really does, man. I can't imagine performing a fight there. Like I can't imagine like performing athletically in that condition. But just walking, you feel it. It takes a day or two to acclimate. Just not doing anything physical.
When I would fight in Vegas, I would get there over a couple weeks early because I'd have to get acclimated to Vegas. It's higher than here.
Good. Sorry, Matt Santiago can hop on in 2 minutes. Okay, great.
All right, and you got to be gone in 10 minutes, so you control.
Yes.
Okay? Santiago, let's go.
That's great.
And how long has he been gone for now? When was the last time he fought?
I want to say 15 months. April 2023, May, June, July, 15 months, yeah.
He had to get some. What do you have to get? Surgery?
I do not know. I mean, I did know, and there's so many fights and so many. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
He needs that hand good to put those hands on people, you know?
Yes, he does. I'm happy we get a chance to talk to him. I'm almost positive we've had him on before, though. Maybe it didn't. I'm not sure why it did, but I just have a memory of talking to him. That'd be really creepy if I just dreamt it. Wouldn't that suck if I actually never interviewed Santiago? I just dreamt I did, and I'm thinking it's real. But don't you remember talking to him?
Borderline creepy though when you said that.
I know.
Hey, I dreamt of you. Don't start it. Don't start it with this, please.
What?
Don't start that you dreamt of the guy.
No, but I don't. I'm just like, did I create the fact that we've?
I'll sum it up for you. Yes, you did. We never talked to him.
All right. Well, I thought we did.
We might have.
I'm almost positive.
Listen, Santiago, man, let's go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he comes back after this this long layoff. What his mindset is like. What's that?
I don't think he was happy with that loss. I think he thought it was premature.
I know, but it was Kevin Holland's hook was. It was, again, I'm sure he's made peace with it after he saw it, because that was kind of his face bounce, if I remember it, and it was like his hands were out. And Holland,
you thought his hook was off the hook. So Jimmy, what do you think? You got some room for me at the Fat Black Pussycat? Guy, I flew you from Long Island. Come on.
And your arms are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now go. You just call me up there, and I'll really just embarrass myself.
No, people probably like you, because even if it didn't go well, you'd acknowledge it, and people respect that.
I'm telling you now, it's not going to go well.
I think people would enjoy it.
No, know what I like about the stand-up comedy? I like to watch it. That's not for me.
I'm just the opposite.
I got a simple brain.
I don't enjoy watching it, but I do enjoy doing it.
You don't watch anybody.
No, I'll watch clips of guys. Sam Morrill's very funny. He just put out another special on Amazon Prime. Him I enjoy, but
my top guys are you. I throw you in there.
Thanks.
And I like Shane Gillis.
Shane's funny. Schultz is funny. Andrew Schultz is very funny.
Andrew Schultz. I like Mark Norman.
Yep, Mark's great.
Who's the other one I like?
Rich Voss.
I like him in studio. When I'm in studio with him, we have fun. Yeah. I like Rich Voss. He's funny. I
know he is. He's very confrontational.
Yeah, he's funny. Tony Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe is great. Yeah.
Good on the Netflix special with the roast. He had a very good set. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hope Santiago can jump on soon, because I very rarely have a flight to catch. Very rarely do I have to jump onto a plane.
Hey, man, you're a little bird. You gotta fly. Jimmy, just tell me you had enough. Tell me when you want to I know, Jimmy, I know.
People can't see, but you not only said bird, but Matt did the bird, like his wrists together, like a little bird wings.
Jimmy, it's a couple hours a week.
I know. I do enjoy it.
Here's to another 800.
Well, I mean, it's a lot. That's a large commitment.
Jimmy, we have so much fun.
We do, but 800.
I have to watch the House of Dragon, the last episode, and me and my wife, we watched Acolyte, just the shit all over it.
By the way,
on what?
What is Michael Chandler going to do? He's calling out Diaz as Santiago gets ready to jump in. What do you think happens with that? I don't know if Conor will fight him. Maybe he has just got a toe problem and he's going to fix it and fight him.
I'm happy that Nate Diaz is getting paid. He had a fight with Gamebred Masvidal.
The boxing match was a good match, yeah.
You know what? I think I just know that he won. I know that
yeah.
And I'm just happy he's making money, man.
Me too.
I'm just happy for that. I know him a long time, and I'm so happy that he's doing so well. So good for Nate Diaz. And if he comes back to the UFC, you got my money.
I think he will.
You got all my money. You got that. Jimmy,
yeah.
You got to go, Jimmy. I know.
Well, we'll give it a couple minutes. I mean,
I just hate to be like, hey, Santiago, good luck this weekend. Bye.
I know.
And then listen, man. Jimmy's gotta fly. It's true. He must. Jimmy's gotta fly. He must make a plane.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on at almost an hour ago. So
so
we love the guy. I love the guy, but he's hit some kind of traffic and something happened.
I love him too. Changing my pick. No, I'm not going to change my pick. I'm going to, Jimmy. First of all, let's promote the UFC. Let's do that.
Yes,
I love a Saturday when the fights are on.
I do. What's that?
So I love a Saturday when the fights are on.
So do I very much. Let's see. The fights are this Saturday from Denver, of course. I'm just trying to get we have a huge prep sheet here. It's Rose against Tracy Cortez. And that begins 7 o'clock at the prelims, ESPN Plus and ESPN. The main card, 10 o'clock, ESPN Plus and ESPN. Rose against Tracy is the main event. And, of course, Santiago against Muslim Salikov. Drew Dober, Jean Silva is the featured bout. It's a great card. I'm sorry I have to jump out. I apologize to the producer and stuff and Matt. I have a plane to catch.
Jimmy, if I was there right now, if I was in studio with you, I put my finger up to your lips. I go, hush, like that.
All right, well, I apologize.
And I go, don't you ever apologize to me. I grab your cheeks. I go, don't you do that.
Well, that would be
Jimmy, very nice. Jimmy, we're done for today. Jimmy, and listen to me. I'm a little extra silly today. I didn't have a lot of sleep. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'll be a little more mature the next episode.
Thank you to Drew Dober. Always a pleasure. Matt, I'll talk to you Monday.
Don't just ignore me, man.
No, I'm not. I'm enjoying it.
All right, Jimmy. Safe flight. All right. And I can't wait to talk to you Monday. I can't get you soon enough.
Talk to you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Unfiltered Army.